Hi, let us learn how to do this. Beautiful, right? It is such a stunning effect, yet so simple to create. So let us learn how to do this from scratch. I am Ramgopal from presentationprocess.com. We help professionals like you create engaging presentations. Here I am on a new slide and I have this photo from Microsoft PowerPoint. Let me go to a new slide and watch each of these steps very carefully because every step matters. The first thing is to draw a square. So let me go to shapes and pick up the rectangle, hold the shift button down and draw a square like so. Go to shape outline and say no outline and let us keep it over here. Then press Ctrl D to create a duplicate and place this right next to the previous one. Press Ctrl D again. So we have three of these lined one next to the other. Then select everything, press Ctrl G to group. Then select the group, press Ctrl D to create a duplicate and then place this right below the previous one and press Ctrl D again. Now we have a square with 9 individual squares. Now we are going to select everything, right click, go to group and say ungroup. So that breaks everything down into its individual pieces. The next step is to have this picture fit into the 9 squares. So how do we do that? First we are going to crop this into a square shape. So let us select this picture, go to picture format, go to crop and say aspect ratio is 1:1 and then make sure that it is properly positioned. So this is a perfect square. Now this is the picture that is going to be fitted into the 9 individual squares. How do we do that? You select this, press cut and then go here and paste it right on top of this. And then let us ensure that the top left corner of the previous square is also aligned perfectly. So let me go down, hold the shift button down, click and drag from the corner so that the dimensions match. Now we are going to cut this square photo into 9 individual squares. How are we going to do that? You select this photo first, press Ctrl C so you're able to keep that in the clipboard of the computer. Then you hold the shift button down while the first picture is selected and then using the cursor you select the top left square. Then you go to merge shapes and say shape intersect. Now press Ctrl V. Since we had already copied the picture earlier, when you press Ctrl V, it brings it back onto the slide from the clipboard. Now hold the shift button down, click and drag to select the top center square, go to merge shapes and say shape intersect and repeat the process. Now some people might ask, why didn't I use the fragment tool to do this job? Because that looks like a much more efficient way to do this. I've tried that, but somehow the result has not been very positive. If you try and if you're able to get success with the fragment tool, by all means go ahead and do it. I find this method of doing far more reliable. So I select this and then this time I'm going to select the top right corner and go to merge shapes and do shape intersect. I continue doing this for the remaining pieces. So I'm going to fast forward this video. Now I have the photo cut into 9 individual squares. I don't really require this bottom right corner, so I'm going to hit delete. Now we have got the completed puzzle in place. We are going to call this as slide number 1. You will realize why just in a little bit. So let us go to shapes, go to the text box tool and call it number 1. And maybe just for visual ease, we are going to really make it big so it is much easier for us to see this one. So let us keep it here. It doesn't really matter where you keep it. So we have got our first slide in place. I don't really want the previous one, so I just delete it. Now let us create a duplicate of this. And I'm going to change this slide to number 2. And then I'm going to select this and use my right arrow key to change the position so it aligns with the top bottom right corner. So can you see here? You just need to do it a little bit carefully so the alignment is proper. Now, if you really want to do it perfectly, then the right way to do it is to add guides. For example, I can go here, go to grid and guides and say guide, and I can move this guide so it aligns with the right corner. So I can keep doing this for all the other spaces as well. I can hold the control button and then ensure that the next position is placed like this. and then hold the control button and I can place like this one, and then hold the control button and make sure that the left corner is taken care of. The same way I'm going to do that for the top position as well, and then hold the control button and place this over like this. Now I need to make this guide. I don't really see the exact separation. Now for that I'm going to go to the next step. So let me right click and duplicate this slide and call this slide number 3. And here I'm going to change the position of this. I'm going to bring this down using my arrow key, and now this becomes much easier for us to align because we have the guides to guide us. So this is the next position. Maybe I can do some small adjustment in terms of the positioning, and now I can actually write the guide very nicely here. I can hold the control button and position the guide appropriately. Then right click, duplicate slide, call this slide number 4, and then let us move this to the left. Now if you see, all we are doing is to mess up things, and that is all, and it's very simple to do. Just go here and have it as 5. Now I'm going to move that down, and then right click, duplicate slide, call this slide number 6, and then move this to the right, and then right click, duplicate this, call this number 7, move this here. Right click, duplicate slide, call this number 8, and then move this over here. Right click, duplicate slide and number 9, and maybe we can move this here, and then duplicate this number 10, and then maybe we can move this down. Now this looks sufficiently messed up. Now we are going to do a magic trick. We are going to rearrange everything. So let us go to the slide sorter view. I want 10 to be the first one. So let us have 10 the way it is, and then move 9 next to it, 8 next to it, 7 next to it, 6 next to it, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Now let us select the first slide, go to transitions and apply morph transition. And this needs to happen for 0.25 seconds. So that is a good time. Let us not have any sound. If you want to have a swish sound or anything, you can do that. Sometimes the overlap of the sound is not proper, so I prefer not to have any sound. From the next one onwards, I can go all the way till the 9th slide. The movement has to happen automatically after 0 seconds, and the last one doesn't need to have any automatic movement. And also ensure that the duration for everything is only 0.25 seconds, including the last one. So to give you a quick recap, the first slide had all the pieces in their original place. Then we messed it up in the next 9 slides. Then we reversed the order from 10 back to 1. So it looks like the shuffled version is the first one, and then it automatically arranges itself to form the original picture. To do that, we are going to use morph transition. Everything moves automatically after 0.25 seconds. The first and the last one don't have that option. We are going to have the movement only happen with mouse click. So that is all that we have done. Now as the last step, we don't really require these numbers. So we are going to select this and delete for each one of these slides, because this will really give away our secret. So when I go to slide sorter view, I see that there are no numbers visible. Now let us go to the first slide, go to slideshow, and the reason why we had it not as automatically moving is because we can decide when the effect starts. Now I can click and the effect starts automatically. You can see that everything is getting arranged in a very interesting way, and now we got the final beautiful answer. Isn't that beautiful? You see, PowerPoint is nothing but a simple tool. How you use PowerPoint creatively determines how well your audience engage with your presentation. That is exactly what we teach in our Ramgopal's PowerPoint Mastery program. It is a comprehensive and creative PowerPoint training for professionals. The link is in the description box below the video. You can click on the link and see the details for yourself. Now, since we are in the subject of morph transition, we have created a number of tutorials on PowerPoint morph transition earlier. So to watch the next logical video to this video, you can click on the link here. This is the next best video for you to watch and take your PowerPoint morph skills to the next level. I'll see you inside that video.